Hello YouTube, welcome back to another edition of the B&J Racing Channel. My name is Dale. This will be a recap of the very first event we did in 2025 at Beech Bend Raceway Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky, the Wally Parks Nostalgia Nationals. There were 6 Pro Stock cars, Nostalgia Pro Stock cars, that graced the property, and everyone showed up on Thursday to try to get some test hits in. This is a different group than we usually race with. They do things slightly different. They do race quarter mile, which we usually race 8. They race quarter mile. However, they put a 750 cap on the ET to maintain parity in the group. So it's a 750 index class for all practical purposes. We've never run this car quarter mile. Don't know if it will make it a quarter mile with the gearing. So we showed up Thursday to make a test hit to see if it will go the quarter mile and where we stand in the 750 round. I've got a number in my head, but I don't have any idea if it's going to make it or not. So first pass, let's see what happens. Okay, that was pretty good. Cars turned down, clutch is soft. If you've watched any of our recent videos, you know we're still somewhat battling a very ill suspension that we can't quite put our finger on. It's intermittent and it has eluded us thus far. And this is early in the season, and so we are really struggling with the suspension. That was not a pretty pass, but it did go 729 at 185 with a 105.60 foot time. So that's respectable. We'll accept that. Got to figure out how to slow the car down. So look at the data. We'll come back, make another test hit here in just a little bit, and see if we can come up with a plan to slow the car down. So we'll be back in a moment. Okay, back for round 2 of testing on Thursday. We're going to see if we can figure out when to lift to run a 750 versus low 7s and see how that works out. So let's ride along with Mike and see what happens. Okay, there you see it. Yet another aborted pass. That is the intermittent suspension anomaly that we have been chasing. So we'll roll back around to the pits and make a change and see if we get to qualify on Friday. Yes, this is an early race where we do Thursday, Friday, Saturday instead of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'll come back tomorrow and make a qualifying pass and hope we can do better. So we'll see you then. Okay, Saturday morning, folks. We did not get to qualify. It rained all day Friday, so we end up being the dead last qualifier of the 6 cars in the field. And so we'll be racing the Ryder Morrison Camaro first round. So let's ride along with Mike and see how first round goes. So here we go. Struggle. Just having to lift and get back in the throttle. That's not good with the Liberty. I hope we didn't hurt anything, but we did squeak out a win for round 1. We'll come back on round 2, do some more testing to see when we need to lift to run the number. We do have a buy run round 2, so that'll give us the opportunity to test and try some changes with the suspension. So we'll be back in a moment. Here we go for round 2. Again, this is a buy run, testing to see when we need to lift to run the 750 index and test some suspension changes. So we'll see how it goes. And back in a moment. Okay, the launch was good, but that was an aborted pass, not due to the suspension this time, but the car made a really, really unusual noise. So Mike, out of safety's sake, aborted, and we'll see if we can find anything wrong. So we'll be back for the final round shortly. Well, we're back for final round, folks. Did not find anything obvious wrong with the car. We'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that there's no internal damage to the Liberty. And we'll be racing Tough Rabbit Camaro final round. So here we go. Well, once again, aborted pass in the beginning. Mike got back in the throttle and was not able to get around him in the end. It was a very, very close race, but Tough Rabbit did win the final round. So that is the synopsis for Bowling Green, our very first event in 2025. Post-mortem on the transmission, the bad noise that we had, or the anomaly on the second round, was a gear was damaged in the lifting and getting back in the throttle over the weekend. So replaced a gear and a slider, and the Liberty's back as good as new. So live and learn, and hopefully we can get this thing dialed in and the suspension anomalies corrected. Next event that we will be at is Cunley Motorsports Park in Thompson, Ohio. So hope to see you guys there. Again, this is the B&J Racing Channel, and my name is Dale. See ya.